Are you thinking about buying a house right now or, a little further down the line, but you just don't know where to start? You don't know where to begin. Well, I'm glad that this video found you because that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to lay out the steps for you to buy a house. But just before we get to that, can you guys please do me a favor? If you find value in this video, do subscribe and share it to somebody that you know. It'll help also. Please like and comment if there's something for you to say. I would really appreciate it. Thank you in advance. Now let's get right into it. We're going to go step one. Step one is going to be find a real estate agent. Find a real estate agent that's going to help you. Now, I am a real estate agent. If you're looking here in Southern California, you can go ahead and reach out. You can call or email me, and I'll definitely help you out. But other than me, if you have your trusted real estate agent already, talk to them, because step one, finding a real estate agent, rolls right into step two, because step two is speak with a preferred lender, preferably 3 different lenders. Okay. So your real estate agent will definitely have preferred lenders. A good real estate agent has preferred lenders, and they can set you up to talk to them. And the reason why we're talking about 3 different lenders is because all lenders are not created the same. Every lender doesn't have the same program. Every lender does not have the same rates. So we're going to have these 3 competing with each other to get you the best deal. They're going to compete with each other to get you the best deal. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that, right? So after that, the reason why we're speaking with the lender is because we need to get that pre-approval letter and find out how much house you can afford. How much house can you afford? Because without knowing how much house you can afford, that's the blind leading the blind. Wouldn't you agree? We're not going to be the blind leading the blind. So we find out how much house you can afford. We get that pre-approval letter. That's step 2. Step 2 is done. Step 3, this is where it gets exciting. Ooh-wee. This is the part that everybody loves, because it's time to go see these houses. It's time to go house hunt. We're going to go find a house for you. So we narrowed down all the houses, and boom, we found a house that you have to have, right? Let's just imagine we found the house that you have to have. Step 3 is put that offer in on that house that we found. So we go step 1, real estate agent. Step 2, lender with the pre-approval. Step 3, house hunt and put in an offer. Now, you might hear offer all the time, but if you haven't went through the process, you're like, what is an offer? Like, what do you mean? You just tell them how much you're going to give them? Essentially, yes, but this is going to be on a legally binding contract. So this is the residential purchase agreement. So on the purchase agreement, we put how much we're going to pay for the house. We put how much the EMD is going to be. Now, EMD is earnest money deposit. Now, you can think of earnest money deposit as a good faith gesture. It's basically telling the seller that you're serious about purchasing the house. And typically it's between 1% and 3%. And, on the higher end, it's telling them that you're more serious about it. Right. And that's just the EMD. That's the earnest money deposit. That's within the residential purchase agreement. Also, in the residential purchase agreement, it's talking about contingencies. And what are contingencies? You have a loan contingency. How long is it going to be contingent upon this loan? How long is this contract or this deal or this closing going to be contingent upon the loan? That's one of the questions. And default is 17 days. Also, we have an appraisal contingency. Default is 17 days on that as well. And we have an inspection period, right? So if you're working with me, as soon as we get this offer accepted, we're going right away, inspection right away, like next day if possible. So that's step 1, real estate agent. Step 2, lender. Step 3, find a house, put in an offer. And now we get into step 4. Step 4, what is step 4? Open escrow. Step 4 is opening escrow. Now, when you open escrow, you're going to be sending in. So okay, let me not skip a step. Let's go exactly how it goes. When that offer is accepted, you have 3 days. 3 days to send in that earnest money deposit. So you send in the earnest money deposit to escrow. What is escrow? What is escrow? Escrow. You hear about escrow. You see escrow companies when you're driving around. But what is it really? Escrow is a neutral third party. I'm sure you've seen an escrow company somewhere. Escrow is like this. Say if I have a bet against somebody else. They have their money, I have my money. And we need to put this money somewhere because I don't trust him. He doesn't trust me with the money. So we're going to give it to a place. Let's just call this place escrow because they're not for him and they're not for me. They're for their business, and their business is to be that neutral third party, not for him, not for me. And the money's there, and the money will stay there until it's clear that it needs to go somewhere else. So if I win the bet and we say that I won the bet, then they'll give me the money. That's what escrow is. So it's the same thing with the housing. So you send your earnest money deposit into escrow. Escrow is holding this money. The money is not theirs. It's yours. You sent it to escrow. It's not theirs. It's just sitting in escrow in a safe, neutral place. So that's what escrow is. Also, escrow during this escrow process. So we accept the offer is accepted. We sent in the EMD to escrow. Now escrow will send out escrow instructions. They will be asking for certain documents and disclosures, things that we have to give when they need them. When they ask for them, we give them. Okay. Now, during this escrow process, we have that loan contingency. We have that appraisal contingency. We have that inspection period and everything that has to do with that within this escrow period. Now, just to note, how long is escrow? Do you guys know about that? Have you guys heard about how long escrow is? Because there's different escrows. You find out this from the lender. How fast can we close? How fast can we close this house? Can we close in 10 days? Can we close in 15 days? Can we close in 21? Does it have to be 30 or 45 or even 60? We will find this out with the lender. How fast can we close this house? And now that depends on how fast you want to close, how fast they want to close. If the lender says we can do 15 and you want it as soon as possible and they want it as soon as possible, then the escrow will be 15 days. It's just simple as that. But anyway, let's assume that appraisal goes good, inspection goes good, loan is going great, and it's almost time to close. Now we have one more thing to do. This is called the verification of property. We call it the final walkthrough. So when we go to this final walkthrough, we just want to verify that the house is the same house when we saw it initially and put our offer in, that it was then, it is today. It needs to be the same as it was then, today. So no new holes in the wall, no new doors that we didn't know about. No, the floor is gone now. No, it has to be the same what we put an offer in on. And once we confirm that it is, we can sign off on that final walkthrough, verification of property, and then go on to the closing table. Closing table. This is the last step, by the way. This is going to be step 5. Step 5, the last step, closing. Signatures are done. Loan is funded. Property has recorded. The title is now in your name. Jingling, jingling, jingling. That's what you hear. You hear the keys going from my hand to your hand. Congratulations. You now have your house. And that's the process. That is the process for you purchasing a house. Now, if you know anybody that needs to see this, that needs to know how to buy a house, do share this. Share this as much as you can. It'll help me. It'll help me help you because I'll come out with more videos like this. And it'll definitely help somebody else in need. So if anybody is in need in Southern California, feel free to reach out. I am here to help. And until the next one, you guys take it easy.